Welcome back to White Mountains Today, live from North Conway Village. In our studio now for a great interview with Jack Steffen from Gorham Bike and Ski Shop, right in Jackson Village, sharing a base lodge with Jackson Ski Touring Center. Welcome.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for coming on this morning. We were commiserating, sharing shoveling stories and mailbox disappearing stories just a while ago, but there's also a really bright side, a good side to snow, to all the heavy snow we've had, and that's great cross-country skiing.
Absolutely. We've got a terrific base up there, and they keep on grooming it. Yesterday, there were a ton of people out there enjoying the sunshine, and it's pretty glorious. I know it's a warm day when I'm able to crack the windows open and get some fresh air into the shop.
That's so great. And, you know, it's nice to have that, all that snow. We had, 4 feet of snow or so in the past couple of weeks leading up to February vacation week, and to be able to enjoy that without having to, bundle up too much. But it also provides a little bit of a tricky situation for cross-country skiing. You brought with you a waxable ski. So tell me, first of all, when people go cross-country skiing, you often hear about the two different types of ski. Waxless and waxable. What is the difference?
Well, the real difference is the kick zone in here. And it varies a little bit depending upon the weight of the skier. So normally...
Hold this up a little bit so Hans can, so we can see that there.
So normally skis are divided into 3 different sections. The front gliding zone, the rear gliding zone, and then the kick zone underneath.
Right.
All skis have a camber on it, and the stiffness is based on the skier's weight. So you have to have a balance act on each ski. It's got to be stiff enough that when your weight's evenly distributed, you get good glide. That means that this kick zone is off of the snow. Yet it's got to be soft enough that when you kick down, the ski collapses and you have contact with the snow. And that's what gives you your front propulsion. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do that. The traditional ski, such as this, needs some wax in there, a softer wax. And I've gotten a couple of different things here. It's always been the most difficult to wax for conditions that are right around freezing. You know, you go into the shadows and it's kind of icy. You go into the sun and it's kind of wet. Those are typically clister conditions, which is a really soft wax.
Yep.
And it can get a little messy. You have to be a little careful for that. But I thought I'd talk briefly about, what it takes to wax a ski typically, and then and that'll probably give a lot of people some indication on the advantages of going to a waxless ski, which means that you don't have to put this kick wax in here.
Yep. In the earlier shot, you can see the difference. There's a line right here where it seems one type of wax ends, that's the kick zone, and then another type of wax begins, and that's the glide zone.
Right.
And you mentioned the clister. So what determines the kick wax? Is it strictly temperature?
It is pretty much temperature. It's also humidity and the conditions of the snow. Has it changed over the last couple of days? Melted, frozen, melted, frozen.
Yep.
All of those things come into play. And really what it comes down to is your experience as a waxer. We can make some recommendations, but usually the people that do a lot of waxing know what works for them.
Right.
And they're really familiar with the conditions that we have here in the East, which would vary quite a bit from like out west, where
right.
Their humidity is a little drier, their snow is a little drier. So basically, to start out, what you'd want to do is clean the bases in the kick zone. We usually rough it up with some 100 grit sandpaper and then clean it again. And then we'll put on a base layer. There are a number of different things that you can use for a base layer. This is probably the most popular.
I'm going to put this right here so Hans can get a shot of it.
We have some spray-on clister base, and frankly, that is really easy to use.
Really?
And it's a lot cleaner. You don't get the clister over the side of the ski.
Yep.
Once the clister gets on the side of the ski, all bets are off. It's going to end up on your gloves, on your steering wheel, at some point probably on your kitchen counter and couch. So that's something to try to avoid at all costs. We've got a number of different hard waxes for colder conditions, they're a little easier to use. But the base is normally ironed in, and that really makes great adhesion to the ski and a real good layer. You put the hard wax over that or the clister over that. And that, we always recommend thin coats. For the hard waxes, you want to cork it in a little bit, make it as smooth as possible.
Yep. Now, when should someone go to a waxable ski? If someone, there may be beginners out there saying, you know what, I can't get my head around this. This is overwhelming. Do I need to do this to cross-country ski? There are options out there, right?
There really are, and some great options. We've got Fisher is one of those companies that keeps on refining their equipment to the point where they're one of the few that are updating their scaled skis. It's called their Crown Series. And you'll see, and we could show you if you come out to Jackson and talk to us, where they have like 3 different sections in there. And it's all about that transition from the glide zone into the kick zone. So they'll have a single cut on either side of that zone, and right underfoot, it's a double cut, so it's a little bit more aggressive. One of the new setups this year is our twin skin, and I've spoken of those in the past. They are really efficient. I've used that extensively this year, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, if you missed any of those earlier interviews this season, go to our YouTube page or our website. You can find previous interviews with Jack where he brought the twin skins on, and it basically has these little mohair strips that replace what would be a waxable zone.
So the big advantage for a waxable ski is it gives you the best glide versus kick capability, as long as you get the waxing right.
Right. So you're looking, that's the ultimate in performance. If you're, whether it's for racing or whether it's for you just want to have, the most efficient, most fun recreational ski, waxing is going to be the way to go.
Yep, best gliding ski, and a really good gliding ski, you're not just shuffling out there, but rather you're doing the kick and glide, kick and glide. So it's a lot more efficient. You're going further with less effort. It's really the way to go.
Does it take, because I've never used waxable skis before. I've always used waxless skis, which instead of the wax in the middle, they have fish scales, which kind of prevent you from sliding backwards and allow you to kick.
Yep.
If I all of a sudden switch to a properly waxed pair of waxable skis, am I going to have to relearn technique because I'm going to be gliding way more than I've ever glided before?
No, I think you're just going to be that much more efficient, and it's going to be a little bit more fun for you. The technique is going to be the same, but you're going to say, wow, that's the way it's supposed to feel.
Right. It's like driving a Pugo and going to a Maserati or something like that.
I think that's a good analogy. Yeah.
I can still drive, but it's going to take me a little time behind the wheel to get the fine adjustments right.
Absolutely.
So in addition to the waxing the kick zone, you also wax the glide zone, and you even have some stuff for that here, right?
We do. That would be the same wax that you'd use on an alpine ski. It's really the same base and everything. If you have some wax that's been put in, and a lot of people will come into the shop and say, hey, Jack, wax these up for me, and we'll do the glide zone for you. And the kick zone, that's your responsibility. But we'd be happy to do the glide zone for you. And for $15, $20 for a high-performance version, which is a low floral wax, we'd be happy to wax those up as soon as we can.
And then one of your favorite tips is bring a bottle of that out onto the trail with you.
Yes. This is our most popular wax. It's F4. It works really well to make the wax that's already in your glide zone last a little bit longer. It's really a topper. It's a glide wax. It's liquid. It's thin enough that you can put them on scaled skis, so you can go tip to tail, put it on, let it set up. It takes a minute or two, and then you buff it off, and then you don't have to worry about that glopping on that sometimes you get with wet snow.
Yep.
So that's been our most popular wax by far. New this year from Swix, they have a wax that's kind of a little higher performance, and they split it into cold or warm. 25 degrees is kind of the Mendoza line, if you will.
Right.
And
what I like about this is it has the applicator built right into it, so you don't really need anything else out in the trail. You just bring this bottle with you, and you say how this has saved many a marriage out on the trail.
It seems that way. I've run into some people that were having a spat. I can't get these skis to work. They're sticking, and I'll pull them off to the side and say, hey, let's clean off the snow, put some of this on, and they come back into the shop and thanks for saving our ski day.
Yeah.
Where's the wax?
Yeah. And our marriage. It's like canoeing, cross-country skiing and canoeing. You got to be careful when you take your spouse out. Get the conditions right.
That particular unit has a buffing pad in the bottom of it too, so it's it's kind of thin, fits into a pocket, a pack really well. So it's something you can put on out on the trail too. So it really works out really nice. It's like I said, our most popular product up there.
Well, we're just about out of time. I know you guys do you do clinics, like waxing clinics at the shop as well? So if we've piqued anybody's interest and they want to kind of get more into this or just check it out, they can come to your shop.
Every Saturday at noon, we have a free waxing clinic, and we try and slant the clinic to whoever happens to be there. If they have some questions, we can kind of go in that direction. If they have waxless skis and they really don't have any interest in learning about the waxables, well, then we'll address those issues that they're interested in. The other thing I'll point out is we've got a 20% off sale going at the store that includes packs and waxes, just about everything in the store, clothing, skis, bindings.
All right, we're getting a look at some behind-the-scenes footage of Gorham Bike and Ski. You can see the variety and all the inventory they have there. And you guys also demo, too. So if you want to try out all this technology we've been talking about, you can do it.
Absolutely. One of my favorite pieces are the twin skin skis. So we have those for someone to try.
All right. My goal is to try those twin skin skis before the end of the season. That's my goal.
Perfect.
Putting it out there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, thank you, Jack, for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
When we come back, we're going to look at weather, ski conditions, and have more watch and win after this.
At the Jackson Ski Touring Center in Jackson, New Hampshire. Explore the largest cross-country ski trail network in the East with premium daily grooming. Take a naturalist-guided snowshoe trek through the woods or experience famous backcountry like the Wildcat Valley Trail.